What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Reality After Show. We are doing our season 50 of Survivor Cash Draft live here with everybody. Really looking forward to it. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Lauren Pratt. Lauren, how you doing today?
What's going on? Happy to be here. Can't wait to make my picks and can't wait to see what everyone else here selects as well.
All right. So, Lauren, why don't you go ahead and introduce us, since this is your baby. You got this all set up. You got everyone to join us. Why don't you give us a heads up of who everybody is?
Well, we collected such a squad for this podcast. As always with us, we have Phillip from DONDI. Phillip, how are you?
Blessed, black, and problematic. Let's do it.
Always a pleasure having you, buddy. And we have the survivor from David versus Goliath. We have Lyrsa in the house. Lyrsa, how are you?
Hi, I'm here. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
I'm excited because I recently saw that apparently I was swapped with Angelina. Like I was gonna do her, and I never got that memo. It was on Twitter a couple of days ago. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was there. I'll send it to you guys. It was ridiculous. But hi.
I'm ready for it. We have May from 99 to Beat. May, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much. Super excited. Lifelong Survivor fan, so I'm stoked to be included.
And last but not least, we have Manfred in the house from Squid Game, The Challenge Season 2.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm super excited. I love Survivor. This is my first one that I've been doing, my first draft for 50, so super excited.
All right, perfect. So we've got everybody here. We've got our list of contestants available. I'm going to pull that up on screen. We're going to be doing a snake draft until everyone is picked. We have our draft order. We're just going to go according to the pictures here on our left-hand side. It'll go Phillip, Lyrsa, myself, Manfred, Lauren, and May. And then May's going to take us back through the second round to start. So without further ado, let's get into our season 50 cash draft. Phillip, you're starting it off. Where are you going to go?
Okay, this is absolutely absurd. Upside, there's a lot of really good players here, but I think for the very first time, you having a bigger name and a bigger personality and people knowing who you are is not going to work to your benefit. I think these players have done their research. And so with that said, my first pick has to be Savannah. I think that she has the athleticism, and I think that all the male players are going to go after the Jonathans, the Aussies, the so on and so forth. So she might be able to sneak under the radar. I don't know if I'm saying like a final winner pick, but I'm saying I think she's going to go pretty far.
All right. So Savannah is off the board. I like the pick. Obviously, a lot of questions with Savannah going into 50 as basically a relatively unknown to these other players. You know, no one else got to see their season before Rizzo and Savannah came out here for 50. I think that it could work as an advantage to them because people might want to pick them up because they are the unknown. We saw that with Russell Hantz in the past. We've seen that with other players. But does that come back to haunt them, especially if this cast, which we've heard in, preseason promos, people kind of are on to that she might be the winner of 49 with the third winner there and relatively unknown. Is that going to be a disadvantage to her? Let's see here. Manfred, do you have any thoughts on Savannah?
I mean, I love Savannah. She's one of the few Asian winners, so I stand. No shade. I would not pick her first.
Oh, okay, guys. Picking her first does not mean number one. I'll take all of the will probably be in like top 10. I'll take that all day, every day.
Well, top 24.
Here's my thing. I think she is an unknown, and whoever is on her tribe is going to have questions. In the meantime, they're going to keep her around till they get the answers. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, don't pick the person that goes home episode number like 1 through 3, which like I think she's going to hold on long enough that they're going to at least want to be like, I don't know a lot about you. And as we know with Savannah, she's an acquired taste eventually. So I think that might give her a few weeks to kind of figure it out.
Aubrey, what's your Aubrey? I was looking at Aubrey's picture. Lyrsa, what's your opinion of Savannah going into 50?
Do you want to know the truth?
Always.
I left last season on episode 4. A lot of things happened in my household, so I have no idea. I know I saw her when they did the live event in Boston. Laura, she was here, right?
She was there. Yep.
Yeah.
She didn't say hello, and I'm sorry, I'm iconic, so she was not gonna be on my picks anyways. So yeah, I can't give more information, so I apologize. I'm becoming one of those.
It's all good. It's all good. That's what we need someone else here for. Give us that outsider perspective that doesn't know their game. Lauren, what are your thoughts?
This is why I bring Lyrsa to this, because Lyrsa's going to say whatever, which I'm here for that. My only issue is we've seen people get burned in the past with the unknown. Are they going to make that same mistake again? That's my only issue with the Savannah pick. I think these people are smart enough to potentially not go with the unknown, because why would you want to do that? They obviously did something well enough to be on this iconic cast.
And May, how do you think Savannah will do?
So I actually have not seen 49 yet. Don't hate me. I wasn't the premiere party, but from what I know about her is that she has a background in newscasting, and when you do that, you have like an on-air presence, like you know how to hide things from people. What Phillip was saying about how like she might not win again, but she's gonna be somebody that can like work their way in. With being a new person, if Rizzo is not on the same tribe as her, she could be a great swing vote. Like if there's old school versus new school and she's in the middle, like they could use that fantastically to their advantage, even if she is an unknown in the beginning.
All right, Lyrsa, with pick number 2, who are you gonna go with?
I'm gonna go and stay loyal to my Davids, and I'm gonna pick Christian. I don't know if he's gonna make it till the end, but he's always a really, really good storyteller and funny. So I'm gonna pick my boy Christian.
All right, Christian, huge fan favorite, someone that we've been really looking forward to coming back on our screens, and we finally get it here on season 50. Obviously, a little bit of target because people know how good he is at puzzles and what he can do strategic-wise, but there's a lot of threats here. Is he able to fade into the background, or is that target too big? May, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Christian?
I'm sad. I love Christian. I always love, there's like certain types of people that they cast that I am always like rooting for them, and Christian is one of them. I love like the nerdy, quirky, like out there kind of person that doesn't necessarily fit in with the popular crowd. And I love that he can stand by it, and he is good at puzzles and he is good at strategy. Will he be able to work his way through the tribe? Who knows? But I think it's a solid pick, and he was definitely one that was on my list.
All right, Lauren, what are your thoughts?
Everyone loved Christian the first time, and so I think it's a fantastic pick. The only side that I'm thinking here is, can Christian play a different game than Christian did the first time? And that's what I worry about with some of these players. I think they might just stick to their roots and not change anything to adapt their game. And Christian's one of those people that I had on my list that I'm not sure if he can play differently than the first time.
All right, Manfred, do you have any thoughts on Christian?
Well, I'm pissed because I want to, but I mean, everyone loves Christian. How could you not? He's so charming, and he has, obviously like that nerd archetype, but to still be able to fit into so many different crowds, like even like the Brochachos Alliance. I literally just saw his preseason interview today, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like Christian's going to do so well. So I think that's a solid pick.
All right, and Phillip, to round us out, what are your thoughts on Christian?
I love Christian just based on likability. I am always a big believer in whether you win or lose being memorable. And I think as soon as you say his name, everyone always goes, Christian. And you're like, you know what? That's a good sign. Like that to me is a good sign, because not a lot of players after this many years still have that. Normally regardless of whose name you say, everyone's up in arms and it's either I love them or I hate them. But like with him, you're pretty much in the middle. You're like, what a likable guy. Okay, cool, great.
All right, so now it is my pick at pick number 3. I'm deciding, do I go team messy or do I go just team strategic? I really want to go messy.
Go messy.
I really want to go messy. All right. With my first pick, and I know this is not going to be, probably the top pick off the board, but I got to take him because I love him so much. Give me Coach.
Oh God!
Oh,
That message.
No.
I'm going messy. I mean, how do you not love Coach? One of the greatest characters to ever grace our screens when it comes to Survivor. Like, if you really think about it, his first 3 seasons that he played, there was such a short amount of time compared to the amount of time since he last played to now. It's like a whole lifetime has basically happened for him. He's gotten married. He has kids. I want to see this older, refined Coach that seems to be coming in with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, too, when we see all the promos. So I love Coach. I'm excited for it. I don't think he's winning, but I want to be Team Messi. So give me Coach. Let's start with Phillip. Phillip, what are your thoughts on Coach?
Is he even medically clear to participate? I don't know. Okay. You have to objectively look at it. I know it's not as physical as it used to be, but scientifically, biologically, look at the age of this man where you're like, listen, he played really well, kind of. He played really well, sure. But the kind of game that Survivor is right now, what does a conversation between Coach and Rizzo look like? When Rizzo says, Coach, that is pure cinema. He's like, excuse me, what, sir? What does that even look like? What does his social game look like when you see Coach and Tiffany having lunch? What does that even look like?
All right,
I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
Hey, let me know. What are your thoughts on Coach?
I have always said, since I started watching Survivors, I want a season with just the messiest tribe ever. And on there would have been my all-time favorite Survivor, Shambo, Icon, and Coach, and just everyone that is just they're their own person. They're not even on a tribe. It's Coach. You know what I mean? So I love that every season he comes back, he has a new persona. There's Coach, there's the Dragon Slayer. I'm excited to see what comes for season 50. I don't know how he's gonna do, but I'm so down with Team Messi.
All right, Lyrsa, as a former Survivor, what's your opinion on Coach?
Yeah, I want to see Coach again, see what's going on with him, if he's gonna play what type of character he's gonna play this time. So I think he'll do good. I want to see that interaction between this leaning towards older, including me, survivors and the new generation, especially because the way they talk, I need a dictionary, and I'm way closer to their age and have these people. So I'm really excited to see how those conversations are going to go.
All right. And then Lauren, what is your thoughts on coaching playing in 50?
I wanted Coach to fall to me so bad. I was over here hoping for it, and you snagged him. Listen, I think, as you said earlier, Coach really could benefit because Coach played in such a short snippet of time, and so much time has elapsed since. And really, truly thinking and going into 50, knowing that it's going to be the iconic season it is, do I think Coach is going to win? Probably not. But are we going to get fantastic television, amazing confessionals, 110%, and that's why Coach is there?
Yeah, and to round it out for Coach, Manfred, let us know what you think.
I actually feel like Coach is going to do very well. From what I've seen, it seems like everyone kind of sees him as a friend and wants to work with him. And something that I just thought about as other people were talking about, Coach fitting with a younger crowd was literally, I think, the beginning of 49 when there's this scene where everyone's like, this is fire, that's fire. And and first of all, but it is funny imagining Coach being around that and this new younger vernacular. But also Coach, I do think, does have good connections with new era players, especially Ben, who is close with Charlie. So I feel like that's a good connection to lean into as well. So I feel like Coach is a really good pick, and I'm really excited to see him on my screen again. I feel like you can't have Survivor 50 without Coach. So super excited just to see him play again.
Yeah, give me the Dragon Slayer all day. Okay, you guys sold me. I'm a little bit higher on his prospects now. I was going Team Messi, but now I feel like maybe Coach has some longevity in the game. All right, right back to you, Manfred. What's your pick at pick number 4?
I'm so excited that she's still available, but I have to pick Suri. She's my favorite player ever. I love her so much. I love her social strategic game. And it's just crazy because no one has said they want Suri out first. And like, how do you play the game that Suri plays and still not get targeted first? It like baffles me and amazes me at the same time. And if I ever get on Survivor one day, she's exactly how I want to play.
All right. So yeah, obviously Suri, I knew someone was going to take Suri in the first round. Like, how do you not? It's Suri. She's a legend of the game. I just feel for me, we have seen so much Suri lately between, you know, Big Brother, Survivor, Australian Survivor, Traders, that maybe it's because I've had Suri overload, which I know that might be a sin for some people. Some people say you can't have enough Suri. But for me, I'm excited. I think she should be on 50. I just don't know how well she will do because of the fact that she has a big target. She's been on so many shows. People might want this to be their limelight experience, especially this might be the last time they play. Suri's had multiple opportunities. I could see that being a target on her back. Lauren, what are your thoughts on Suri?
We say this on every podcast when Suri is on a different show or Survivor. You have to
True.
go for Suri early, and it never happens. So I'm just going to stick with that. Suri's not going to go early. We keep saying that is the smart move, but people choose to keep Suri around just because she is that good.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Phillip, what are your thoughts on Suri?
I don't know. I think every time you come back to the game, you have to play it differently. And so even in coming from the world of like competitive reality myself, I would never go back and play the same game, because if you want to, you can turn on Peacock and watch it. And so for me, I just don't love, I love her as an auntie. I would invite her to like the cookout, even the like repass in the church basement. I'm here for it. But at the same time, in being like, this is season 50, I think people are working hard, playing hard. Once again, is she medically cleared for this? Is she going to be able to physically do what we need her to do? And she's, you know her, she's like, one day I got up off the couch in New Jersey and we're like, okay, we've been doing it for years. Like for me, I just need to see more evolution. So I will be entertained, but I don't know if her social game is strong enough to outwit, outplay, and outlast the other amazing skills and talents that are in this group.
All right, Lyrsa, what are your thoughts on Suri?
I love Suri. Suri is great. But I feel like Lauren said and other people, if you don't take her out first, she's going to make it to the end. I don't think, honestly, that she will win, even if it's taken to the end, because she has done it before. And she has been playing a lot of recent shows. So I don't know how that will translate into Survivor 50. Again, love her, but I don't think she's going to win it.
All right, May, any thoughts on Suri?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have said it. She's been on everything, and it's just like, sorry for any Boston Rob lovers out there. They put him on 4 times, so eventually he won. Like, if you go on the show multiple times, eventually you're gonna win something, hopefully. And she, spoiler alert, won her season of Traders. So now it's just like, oh, okay, she's there. I think other players are almost going to like let her slide by. Like, she's not their main target. They're more worried about people that have bigger personalities or are known for being more like cunning and under the radar. And I think she's just going to slip through. Like Lauren said, they're not going to target her early in the beginning. So she's just going to play more of a passive game and make it through just because people have other goals and other targets in the beginning. I don't see a world where she wins, but she can definitely make it to the end, in my opinion.
All right, and Lauren, tell us your thoughts on Suri as we round up the discussion of her.
I already got you with my thoughts, but I'll make my pick.
Oh, sorry. Who would I leave out? Was that everyone?
Yeah, that was everyone.
I'm trying to update the picture right now. I'm trying to figure it out, so I'm like listening and doing it at the same time.
No,
All
listen,
right,
you were coming to me for my cue for my pick. It worked out great. You're fantastic. We got this.
Lauren.
All right, so, I thought maybe I'd go sleeper round 1. I changed my mind as we progressed down the board here, and I cannot let this person slip. I have to take Genevieve off the board for me here. Because I could see, I think May was waiting on this potentially. And the reason why,
no,
badass player, I'm excited. Only person from her season. She does not have anyone else there with her, unlike season 46 and season 48, which I think is a huge benefit because when you come in with 3 people from a cast from 2 recent seasons, that's makes me take pause. So I think as a solo can easily get scooped up, put into an alliance. I think she's going to come in with a more softer approach potentially and has learned and gone back and done the research and watched her game flawlessly to come back for season 50. I think she could not be more prepared.
I absolutely disagree in the fact that I think she's in some real trouble. Because here's the thing. She's one of the newer seasons that was in front of all of these people. Yes, 48 came after, and they did see 48. But who from 48 are you really fearing besides maybe Kyle because he won it all? I mean, yeah, you can put Camilla up there too. But really, Genevieve was looked at as a mastermind of her game, right? Like she would have won had she got to the end. This is fresh in their minds. She has no one else out there to work with. Like the 48 people have 3 of them there. She's by herself from her season. I think that puts a big target on her back. I think that she's in that weird spot where she didn't win, but she's new era and is known as a strategic mastermind. I fear for her in that game. Lyrsa, any thoughts on her, on Genevieve?
I had the chance to meet Genevieve while they did their viewing of her season here. A delightful person. Oh my God, love her. I'm really excited to see her game because I think that in the end of her season, she realized that you do have to involve your emotions. You do have to connect more with people, and with that learning experience, I think she will apply it on this season. I'm upset that she got picked because she was going to be my next pick. So I'm really rooting for Genevieve here.
All right. Manfred, what are your thoughts on Genevieve?
I love Genevieve on her season. I am nervous for her, though, just because I feel like the perception of her is that she's this cold-blooded, cutthroat, emotionless mastermind. But like we were saying before about whether or not people will change how they play their game, I do think she is one of those players who will change how she plays this time around. So I'm very curious to see if she decides to play with more emotion and how that looks for her game. So I'm super excited to see her on 50, but I'm also nervous for her.
All right. And May, I saw you had a big reaction when you saw that Lauren picked Genevieve. What are your thoughts?
First of all, I'm done. I quit. No, Genevieve was like my number 1 pick. I think she is just so smart. She has such good instincts. And sometimes, like you were saying, you're worried because she doesn't have anyone else out there with her. Sometimes there's power in being alone. You're not drugged down by what other people want to do. You have room to move. You have those options to sneak into those little nooks and crannies and be that +1 that somebody needs to turn a vote. There's power in being that person. And with her ability to just read people and her instincts and her mastermind, like I think she has a very, very good chance of making it a very, very far way in this game.
All right. And finally, Phillip, what are your thoughts?
I mean, she's a good player. She's athletic. She's smart. It's just a matter of whether the older era players have done their research. As a whole, I think her haircut is really responsible.
All right. May, now you got 2 picks in a row. What's going to be pick number 6 and your first pick in the first round?
Oh gosh, I've put no thought into this. I usually just go off of vibes, and I always am horrible at drafts. So I'm sorry if you're on my team because you're most likely going early. But this person, I remember rooting for her when her season came out, and she was just like a badass woman that just kept winning and winning and winning and setting records and setting records. And it's Chrissy. I think she absolutely should have won her season. She's excited and chomping at the bit to get back out there. So I have to have her on my list.
All right, Chrissy, someone who I think definitely deserves a second chance at the game after she was basically screwed by production and Jeff when it came to the biggest twist ever of adding fire to that final fire making competition. I think it was long overdue. I think 50 is the right place for Chrissy. I do, I do think she's in a good spot because who's really coming after Chrissy? Even though, yes, she's looked at as someone who's very strategic, it's been so long since her season has aired. And now you have all these bigger targets around you. And from what we've heard in the preseason press, a lot of people seem to want to work with Chrissy and see good things and good potential working experience there. I think Chrissy could go far. I don't know if she wins it all. Hopefully it doesn't come down to fire for her at the end, because that would just be Pandora's box I don't want to open for her. But I'm excited to see Chrissy 2.0 play. Let's go, Lauren. Lauren, what are your thoughts?
I'm ready for Chrissy because honestly, I was not expecting her necessarily to be part of this cast. But then if you look back on her season as a whole, she was such a fantastic player. And it's been enough time now where people aren't going to have Chrissy necessarily on their initial radar. And that's what's going to be the problem, I think. She's going to be able to slide at the beginning, and then she's going to kick it into game mode. And I think she has a great chance to go far.
All right. Phillip, what are your thoughts on Chrissy?
I want to see a final 2 higher showdown with Chrissy and Suri. And I'll be like, okay, so now someone has to be successful. How about that? How about somebody has to now?
Lyrsa, any thoughts on Chrissy?
I'm excited to see Chrissy back. I think she's a great player. She was rocking her season, and I do feel she got screwed up by that last twist that they throw at her. Also, you guys know that she tried like 16 or 17 times to be on the show in a row. So to me, it's fantastic that she gets to play. Like, she put such a hard work to get in, and playing a second time, props for her.
All right. And Manfred, any thoughts on Chrissy?
Yeah, I'm pissed again because I wanted Chrissy. As you were describing her, I was like, she's picking Chrissy, and I'm pissed. But I'm so excited to see Chrissy play again. I'm glad she finally has the opportunity to play again, since there hasn't been any returner season since, well, kind of, sort of. But I, like someone has said already, I don't think she's on anyone's radar. Like, she's going to be that girl who is throwing up at the first challenge, and no one's like really clocking her as a threat, but she really does have what it takes to make it all the way to the end again, I think. And so I'm really excited to see Chrissy.
All right, I got a little updated chart here now, so we can see who's been picked for the first round.
Thank you.
All right. So, May, go ahead and start us off with round number 2. Pick one. Who you taking?
Yeah, I'm really between 2 people. And gosh, I think I'm going to go with Stephanie, because she's somebody that has been releasing all of these things on social media that she put into like training and all this stuff prior to going out to 50. So like, she was in that mindset going out there where she was training, she was getting her body ready, she was getting her mind ready. She's another one that's excited to be back out there. I'm a little hesitant because to me, she's definitely somebody that has a personality that's very like there and in your face, and that can be a detriment to a social game, but we'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic. I really like Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie is one of those players where, one of the few who actually got to play back-to-back seasons. So she went into, a game where people relatively, didn't have as big of a target on her. And, like Rizzo and Savannah, like, can they follow in the footsteps? Now, I know it didn't go as great the second time around for her, but I'm excited to see Stephanie. Now, my biggest hiccup, and this might not be a factor as far as Survivor, is the last 2 times we've seen her on our screens was Snake in the Grass and the Traders. Both times she really wasn't that big of a character, in my opinion. So and even you could go back to Heroes versus Villains. Like, she's really kind of fades into the background. Now, I think that time has maybe given her more confidence going into this game, and I know she has a lot of people there that are willing to work with her. I mean, Colby, heck, he worked with her in Heroes versus Villains, as far as he could. So I do think she's in a relatively good spot. I do worry, does she fade into the background like we've seen recently? Phillip, what are your thoughts?
I think she's hungry. I think the best players are the ones that are hungry and the ones that really want it. Even if they don't win, they go down in flames hard. And like, again, it's a matter of like, are you going to remember that we were there? And I think in following her on social media and seeing all the work that she's been doing, I think win or lose, we're going to remember her. And so, okay, cool. I'm down.
Yeah, I agree with you. And let's see here. So, Lyrsa, what are your thoughts on Stephanie?
Well, Stephanie has never been one of my favorite cast member players. Even on her first season, I know she's a strong female. I know that physically she can take it, but I don't like her game. And after everything that happened when they came back and all that drama on social media, I wonder how they're gonna edit her and if we're gonna see her or not, or if she's gonna get like a purple edit because of all the controversy between comments and even being on traders. Because to my understanding, they didn't want to cast people that went on other reality TV shows, and I think that with all that, that can affect how we're gonna see her on the show.
All right, Manfred, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't say Stephanie's one of my favorites. I'm curious to see how Stephanie and Suri play because Stephanie has described Suri as her kryptonite. Yet she does want to work with her, but wants to cut her off eventually. So curious to see how that pans out. But yeah, I'm a little turned off by Stephanie just because of all the preseason stuff that I've heard about with her.
All right. And then Lauren, any thoughts?
With Stephanie, I just don't know which game we're going to get from her. That's the problem. We've never seen her be a flat out amazing strategic player, but that's something that you can learn and utilize. Also, she's not the best liar. We have seen that, especially if you go all the way back to the snake of the grass of it all. Not so well there regarding that. Now, I will say, if you're looking solely on challenges at the beginning of the game, which some tribes choose to do so, I think she's going to be an asset there, and maybe the tribe that she's specifically on will not lose, and that gives her time and buys her time to create those bonds and relationships.
Yeah, and I agree with you guys. But like, one last thing for people that are just now joining us, I'm just going to go over the draft order real quick. So first, Phillip took Savannah, then Lyrsa took Christian, then I myself took Coach because I'm Team Messi. Manfred then went and took Suri. Lauren took Genevieve, and then to round out the first round, May took Chrissy, and then just took Stephanie with the first pick. Lauren, we're back to you. Who you taking?
All right, I'm going the redemption arc here because they had a really bad showing when they came back for 20. And you know what? They've done their research. They've kept up with the game, which they did not do going into Heroes versus Villains. I'm taking Colby off the board.
All right, Colby Donaldson off the board. Tell us why.
It's a risk, and it honestly is, but I am such an old school fan of Survivor. I have to at least make sure I have one of these people on my draft team. And I'm hyped about Colby because everyone keeps saying, well, we need Jerry there if Colby's there. I want to see how Colby plays without Jerry, to be truthfully honest. I want to see how it goes because every single time Jerry's always there. What's Colby going to do this time? I'm excited to see it happen. And I think he has a shot because he has done the research. He knows the players this time. He's watching the seasons.
All right, May, what are your thoughts on Colby?
Well, he's definitely aged well. That's my first original thought. No, I'm excited to see some of these people coming back from the like really early seasons that we really haven't heard or seen anything from in years now to come back and have this shot again. So I'm interested to see how he plays.
All right, Manfred, your thoughts?
You know, it's funny you say he aged well. Because the first thing I was going to say was the first time I saw a photo of him for like Survivor 50 promo, I was like, oh shit, he aged. He's got a couple extra wrinkles. His hair looks a little lighter, but he still looks good. So no shade. He still looks good. He's still hot. But yeah, I'm curious to see how Colby will play for the first time without Jerry. And is he going to still be a challenge beast, or is he going to flop like he did in Heroes versus Villains? I want to see that. I'm excited to see that. But I feel like the cast is kind of split on Colby too. Like either people like find him as someone they can work with, or they find him as a foe. So I'm just very curious to see how Colby does.
All right, Lyrsa, what are your thoughts on Colby?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how he's gonna play this time, especially without Jerry. I didn't know the cast was split, and we all age. Just that some of us do it better, but no, he's still handsome. Sorry, he's still handsome. Not hitting on him. But I'm excited to see some of these old era players and see how they are going. It's in the same case with coach. I want to see how they're going to blend with all of these new era people, and how they're going to bring a new game, because this is shorter. So maybe whatever you did before, it's you need to modify. So I'm in general, I'm looking forward to see all of these not new era people. I don't want to say old, so he doesn't get offended. And see how they're gonna play this shorter game that goes faster and has a new lingo in it.
All right, Phillip, what are your thoughts?
I think his success is going to be really based on his ability to assimilate to a new era game. Because as much as we want to call it hands of the fans, we're bringing back the old school. Like, is that man going to be able to deal with the Billie Eilish boomerang idol? Like, I just foresee us being like, oh God, oh no. It's like trying to teach your mom or dad to do anything. And like, it's not their fault. It's just a matter of like, they just don't have the repertoire to like fully, I want to say understand it, but fully embrace it. So it's going to be a matter of, is he going to embrace the new era game or not?
Yeah. Lastly, my thoughts on Colby are like, this guy was like the first Survivor heartthrob. Like, this is the first person that really excelled past the game. When his season 2 came out, it was the biggest show in the world. Like, people forget that like they were putting up movie numbers, like the amount of people watching were in the hundreds of millions. So it's wild to see this guy who we haven't seen in a very long time come back. The one caveat I have, and I don't want it to be too much about preseason press and all that, but every single interview you listen to, they all say Colby just looks like he's pissed. Like, he just has a like mad look on his face. He's mad dogging everyone. No one feels comfortable around him except for the people that have known him for years. So I do worry that he's not giving off the vibe to people that he's willing to work with them, because it really does mean a lot in those early hours of Ponderosa leading into the game to at least put a good reputation out there. Having said that, he said that it was one of the best experiences he's ever had playing, and we'll see what happens from that. You know, there's no spoilers there, but hopefully that means good things, because I want to see Colby as long as I can. Like, how do we not get Colby, you know, what is this, 4.0 one more time? All right, so next it's going to be Manfred's choice. Manfred, go ahead and give us your pick for the second round.
Okay, so I'm torn between two, and I feel like one of them is going to get picked by the time it comes back to me. So I'm just going with my gut, and I'm choosing Jenna.
Okay.
I mean, it's so iconic to have season 50, and you have to have someone from season 1. And I feel like I'm really leaning into a lot of the, I don't want to say the older women. I feel like they're going to do really well because this is a returner season, and Survivor is kind of like, you kind of do have to go off of first impressions. Does this person look shifty and shady? Oh, maybe I don't want to work with them. This person looks approachable. I want to maybe work with them. And I feel like Jenna is that person in this cast. And people are calling her like the vibes girl. So I feel good about Jenna. So I just had to take her.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, it's so good to see representation from season 1. I still think probably should have been Richard Hatch, but I understand why they didn't go that direction. I just think if you're going to have a landmark season, why do you not? At least I'd be fine with 2 people from season 1. Like, how do you have 3 from 48 and not Richard Hatch there? You know, like, I just feel like you needed that first winner for this Hallmark season. But I digress. I'm very excited to see Jenna play. You know, it's been a very long time since we've seen her play. We've seen her play a loyal game in the past. I think she's in a great spot. I don't think anyone's coming for her. I just want to see how well she can do in this new era style of game. Honestly, she's one of the biggest question marks to me. I have no idea if she'll do good. I have no idea if she'll be out early. She could really place anywhere. Phillip, what are your thoughts?
I think she's in the best position where people respect her. There's not like an active hate or distaste for her. And also, she doesn't how do I say this not offensively? She doesn't look like a super physical threat, whether she is or not. I'm just saying that like she looks like, you know, a regular lady that you like. And like that to me is so significant for the first, let's say 25% of the game. Just be likable. Don't cause any major frictions or explosions and you'll be fine.
All right, Lyrsa, any thoughts on Jenna?
I barely remember her game, but I know that I did an event on Facebook a couple of years ago. I don't know for what was it, and I invited her. Like I had a couple of Jennas, and she replied back very kindly. I'm like, I am so sorry, I can't go. I have this with my daughters. Also, we're not in the same state, so it was kind of cute. I'm looking forward to see Jenna and see what she brings back into the game. I do understand like trying to bring back Richard, but I also understand why not. So I think Jenna was a good choice. I wonder if they ever try to connect with oh my god, her name just flew out of my brain. Damn it.
From
I'll
season
remember
1?
in a second. Sue.
Sue.
Did I try to go? Yeah, right? Sue.
Yeah, Sue Hawk.
So yeah, that's all.
All right. Lauren, what are your thoughts on Jenna?
Jenna's ready to hit the gas, you can just tell. And also has 3 previous winners to choose from for targets. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more here for Jenna. I'm mixed on Jenna, personally. I think that if she's able to get through the first couple rounds and really find her clique of people to work with, because we saw that in All-Star, she had her squad and was able to ride that squad all the way through to the end. If she's able to do that again, I see her going very far in the game.
All right. And May, last but not least, what are your thoughts on Jenna?
Yeah, I don't really remember her like at all. Like I'm Googling her right now to try and see if any of the pictures like jog my memory. And they really don't. Her eyebrows do look a lot better in the promos than they did in her original season. But that was like what, early 2000s. So they were over plucking a lot back then. So no game opinion. No, sorry.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So that was Manfred's pick of Jenna. Now it's my pick. All right. So I want to stick to Team Messy because I already committed. I don't want to go that messy. Looking at this board here, there's a lot of messiness that can be had, though. You know, I don't know if this is really messy, though. So, but I want them. I'm going to take Rizzo. Give me Rizzo.
Do it.
I just, even though it's not super messy, he can be kind of messy at times. And I just love the kid, man. Like, I know everyone's in every single interview you hear, it's, oh, the Riz God. Oh, Rizgod, Riz God, baby. That's all they know about this poor kid. Like, really, they did him dirty in production by leaving that as like his only clip in the promo for 49. Having said that, though, the kid is very good at the game. We saw what he can do in 49. Do I think he got lucky that people didn't take the shot and were afraid of his idol? Absolutely. But he did enough to get himself as far as he could, where he eventually lost in fire making. And there's, you know, that's all you can do is get there. I think he could go on a real run, especially since he's unknown and he's not the winner from 49. I think that it has a big advantage for him. Give me Rizzo. Lyrsa, what are your thoughts?
Well, you just spoiled his season for me. I didn't know that he won on fire. So thank you. No, I'm joking. Honestly, I'm one of those older people that when he started talking on his season, I had to Google a lot of shit. So I wonder how the 40 plus crew is going to have conversations with him. Right. So that's going to be entertaining. I also didn't understand how far he got, but also I didn't watch his season. So I'm sorry, Rizzo.
Sorry.
Did he name himself the Risk God or was the people?
No, that's the worst part. He named himself that. He came in with that.
No,
and you're like, wait, that's the worst.
No, you don't do that. You don't give yourself a nickname, kid. Like, not in this world. So, okay, now I'm glad I didn't watch his season completely. Sorry.
All right. You
I'm
gotta
here
watch it
for
now.
all the honesty. Lauren should have told you that. I don't have a filter.
That's why you're here.
That's why we have
100%
you
why
here.
I asked you.
And I'm containing myself. Very
All right, Phillip, you're up next. What is your opinion on Riz God?
I think that Rizzo was relatable and a source of humor and good vibes in the 49 cast, in also looking at his age versus the other cast members. This cast, there's quite a few of them, probably let's say a third of them that are twice his age. And I don't even mean like a few, I mean like twice. And so in turn, that might be too big of an age gap to take Rizzo seriously. I'm not saying he's a good or bad guy. I'm just saying to actually take him seriously. It would be like any of us. Well, I don't know if you guys have a lot of experience, but like in talking to like a 19-year-old right now, it's rough. It is rough. And it's hard to take anything they say very seriously because you're like, oh, you don't know anything. Okay, this is weird. And so I just imagine the Aussies, the coaches, all them being like, oh, no, this is not it.
Yeah, and just real quick caveat to what you said. Like, I completely agree. I work with like a bunch of 20 and 21-year-olds, and like, I can't trust anyone that wasn't born before 9/11. Like, you just have not lived. Like, I'm sorry. So it's just like having a conversation with them is like, I completely agree. It's like a whole different world. So, having said that, let's go to Manfred. Manfred, what are your thoughts on Rizzo?
Yeah. You're clearly picking based on mess factor. He is quite the polarizing character. You either hate him or you either love him or you hate him. I'm 30 and I'm kind of sick of Rizzo. It's like I just can't deal with someone like that, and I doubt most of this cast can deal with that either. And also just the whole, these two people from 49, they're on here for a reason. I think he's going to struggle out there, but it'll be interesting to see how he plays. I think he's a bit delulu. He thinks he had a great social game on 49. I don't agree with that, but yeah, he's great TV. That's all. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, May, what are your thoughts on the RIZ-GOD?
I'm torn. Like, my thoughts are torn because, like, obviously he made it really far. If he would have made, like, not lost to Fire, there was good odds that he could have won that season from what I heard. I did watch the finale episode. I just didn't watch the rest of the season. But everything that I know about him from promos is just this RIZ-GOD, like, persona. And guys like that are, like, a sea of red flags to me. Like, they just piss me off by existing because they're so like overly confident in themselves. And what kind of honestly pisses me off a little bit more is that he had the game to back it up, which is like the worst thing. So I don't know. Like, as a person, I probably don't like him. As a player, will he do well this season? It really depends on the rest of the cast. I think he's the youngest player there. And like you guys are saying, it's like, will these original old school players want to work with him and use him as an unknown, as an outlier, or will they just be like, yeah, I have no idea what this kid's saying, get him out of here, you know? So it could go either way.
All right, Lauren, and to finalize Rizzo, what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of in the same boat as May, and here's why. Because the main reason I believe audiences that watched the season enjoyed Rizzo was because of what Rizzo was able to utilize and do with the idol. I don't foresee that happening in 50. If the idol is not in Rizzo's hands in 49, I don't think Rizzo's on season 50 whatsoever. I think that was a huge part of the game and why people had the suspense that they did, because it was unknown. Is Rizzo going to play? Is Rizzo not going to play? And we saw that round after round, and it was very impressive. But I don't foresee Rizzo having an idol in 50, and I don't foresee it going that direction. So I'm not seeing the whole overall pinpoint of, is Rizzo going to be successful? I just don't see it happening, because you would have to see the same game, and we're not going to see the same game.
All right, so Lyrsa, it's your pick now for pick number 2 in round number 2. I updated the board for you, so it should be up to date. Who you gonna take?
Finally, I feel like I haven't picked in a while. I only have Christian, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. The last few drafts I have done, have gone based on eyebrows and dimples,
Period.
and it worked. I think twice, Lauren. I picked the correct people, or at least once I picked winner
You
based
kicked
on
my
that.
ass one round for sure. You did.
And you might think that because of the dimples we can see in this cream, right? There's a prominent person with really prominent dimples that I will pick her, but I won't. Because, yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit shady. I'm going to pick my Latina friend, D, because she never said Latina to me. So I'm going to pick D. I like the way she pronounced cafecito because we pronounce it the same way. Also, on her season, I wasn't like rooting too hard for D, but then I saw her on the challenge which I've been watching, and seeing her there and seeing her social game and her athletic abilities, I think she's gonna do good on this season. Also that combination of like playing different shows, channels, I don't know how you call it. I think that playing the challenge could have given her more of a strength as a player that other players don't have. And yeah, I need a strong female on my roster with Christian, so I'm gonna pick D, and hopefully someday I will have cafecito with her with some croquetas.
As far as D, like arguably, I don't even know if you could say arguably the best winner of the new era, right? Like she has a massive target on her back. One of only 3 winners. She's got one other person from her former cast out there in Emily. I just think that D is in a place where, yes, I think she can rise above it. And I would think that the other 2 winners might even possibly have a bigger target just because they're newer. One's unknown and one just won. But it's just hard for me to get past the fact that she is the best new era winner so far and one of the best winners in the game's history, in my opinion. I worry that that's a big enough target. People are going to be like, listen, we want to win this money. You had your money. You had your time. It's our time now. Phillip, what are your thoughts?
She was going to be my next pick just because of her work on the challenge. I think that if you're talking actual skill-based competitive reality, Survivor is going to be your number one. If you're talking alliance, social game reality, the challenge is probably going to be number one. And so I think in getting to step away from the island, go do the challenge, be messy, make out with everyone, do the alliances, do the thing, and then come back to the island, I think she's only going to get stronger. And so for me, she was definitely going to be my next pick.
Speaking of messy Manfred, what's your opinion on D?
I like D. Like we said or established already, she is one of the most dominant winners of the new era. It's a very big target, but I mean, the game of Survivor is always shifting, and sometimes after a tribal council, someone becomes valuable to you. And I'm curious to see if anyone feels like they need D in their game and want to keep D in the game to maybe insulate themselves or use her as a shield because they're always going to have a bigger target than them. She's already won $1 million and she's done other TV shows. So I feel like she has a good social game and she can make it pretty far in this game despite being a winner and having that target already.
All right, Lauren, what are your thoughts on D?
D is hardcore. I'm happy if you're going to put a winner out there that she's one of them that they chose to select from the new era. I think it's a perfect call. I also think that she sits in a better spot in comparison to the other 2 winners that are also going to be out on the island with her. She can do the challenges. She is strategic. She is social. I think people will utilize her for votes. How long will they utilize her? I don't know, but they need to be smart about it because you might only be able to use a couple to get numbers on your side, and then you have to clip her because I think if you do not clip her, she can get to the end and she could easily convince a jury why I can win the game again.
All right, and May, last thoughts on D.
For D, I thought D's season was kind of like one of the more boring seasons just because like her Because like there was no like suspense.
It
It was like, is
was.
this person gonna flip? Is this person gonna flip? No, it was just that alliance like going, and then she won. So like to me, it was boring. But what you guys are saying is like she's such a prominent winner. Yes, because I don't know. I don't have that many thoughts on her, and it could be a negative coming from the challenge house back onto Survivor, because like you said, those are two different games. Is she going to be able to like change her mindset to be like, okay, now we're back in Survivor and now I need to shift to play this different game? So I do think she will do well. She is a great player, but no real like fond memories in my mind of her.
All right. And as someone who doesn't watch the challenge, apparently I need to watch the challenge with D in it, because apparently that is a different version of D that we haven't seen before. All right.
It's
Spicy,
so
it's
different.
good.
So different.
All right, Phillip, you're up next to end the second round. After this round, I'm just going to put this out there. We'll try to kind of speed run the last two rounds, since we're already an hour in and we still got 2 rounds left. So we'll just try to do a quick statement each on the remaining players after this pick, and we will just speed run it. So go ahead, Phillip.
Sweet. My call is short and sweet. I'll tell you why. I was between 2, but I have to go with Joe.
Okay.
I know, but here's why. If Jonathan wasn't there, I would stay away from Joe. But the idea that Jonathan and Q and Ozzy are there, Joe is all 3 of those put together without the ego. And so for me, I think if we come down to a merge situation, Joe's another just good, nice guy. I'm also very interested to see how he plays with Eva not there, in knowing that like he's going to be that protective dad role, but I would rather him be that protective dad role for the tribe, because that will help him instead of just for one person.
All right. Yeah. Joe is such a nothing burger, in my opinion. Like, no shade to him, right? But why do we need Joe on 50? Like,
oh, he shouldn't be on 50, but if he's here,
Yeah.
you're all-star, sure. But like here, I'm sorry, I just don't get the Joe hype. I get he had the cool moment with Eva, and that was very nice and sweet, but he just doesn't really play the game well. And I'd rather see more people from earlier seasons be able to play this, and not just 3 people from 48 making up almost a quarter of the cast. Like, I don't need that. So I could have done without that. I could have done without a couple of these people in the new era, let's be honest. But if we're going to have him, Joe, he's going to probably get far. He's going to play a loyal game, yada, yada. Lyrsa, what's your thoughts?
I did saw Joe's season, and I didn't understand how he got so far with that relationship with Eva, and how nobody, like, I don't know, I found him boring. Sweet man.
Yes.
Very sweet man. Very, like, his empathy levels are like through the sky, but he was boring to me. And I would have voted him out because he was a strong like dude. And yeah, that's what I have to say. I found him boring. So good luck, Joe. Bring more energy. Be more sassy. Be more out there. Be a little bit like, not that empathetic. So, I don't know. Like, be bitchy.
okay, I'm only gonna throw back the insight of when you are a more athletically fit individual, you need to temper down everything else in the game. I just don't think it's a lot. Like, I don't think you're allowed to be a lot and muscular and athletic. I think you have to like pick one, or else everyone's like, that's a huge threat. Like, I don't know how by episode 11, I was like, I'm still here and I don't know how or why. I don't know how, but it's because I just toned it all down slightly to make sure that no one else really knew. So like, it was fine. I don't know.
All right, May, what's your thoughts on Joe's game?
I think he's clearly like very in touch with his emotions, empathetic, as you guys are saying. For me, like if I was playing the game and I saw that Joe was there, I'd be like, all right, great. If I can get this man wrapped around my finger and connected to me on an emotional level, then he's fantastic for my game. If I can't do that to him, then he's nothing to me and he needs to go. So from a player standpoint, who is he going to vibe with? Who is he not going to vibe with? And I hope that the people that realize that they're not that to him, cut him.
All right. Lauren, any thoughts?
As May said, if Joe's on your side, fantastic ally. You want that. If not on your side, figure out a way to get him out because he's clearly not working with you. I will say, Joe, this is your opportunity right here. Give us a villain era. Do a big heel turn from your original season. Let's see it.
Yes.
I'd live
Joe's
for
the punty side. We can say that here, right?
You can say whatever
Our
you want here.
HR department is Jonny Fairplay. I think you're good. I think you're fine.
I know.
All right, Manfred, what are your thoughts to end on Joe?
I mean, I would live for a cunty Joe. Honestly, I don't think that. Yeah, I think Joe's going to do very well, actually. I think he's going to be very appealing to a lot of the old school players because he plays like an old school player. He's extremely loyal. But as a viewer, boring. Oh my God. If he's going to play the same game, which I think he will, then really tone down the Joe edit because it's boring.
All right, so that ends round number 2. I just updated the board. I will give a update at the end and let you guys know who everyone has taken. But for the to save us some time and get us further through this thing, because we have gone quite a bit. Oh, we lost Lyrsa. Hopefully we get her back because her pick is coming up here soon. Phillip, we're gonna try to speed run these last 2 rounds, guys. So if you can, just make it short and sweet. And let's start with you, Phillip. Round number 3, pick one.
Easy. Aubrey. I just think that people are still underestimating Aubrey, and I cannot figure out why, because she's been good consistently. Maybe it's because this headshot looks like 1987 Sesame Street. I'm not sure what's happening here, but I will also say that like people don't take her seriously, and they should. She's a very good player. So Aubrey.
Amazing pick. Aubrey is someone I was definitely like gonna try to take in the 3rd round, but I had a feeling she wasn't gonna be there. I think Aubrey's in a great spot. Like, if you really think about it, Aubrey in her first season, huge threat. Should have possibly won the game. Season, her second time and her 3rd time, kind of a background character. Even though, yes, I know she got to the final 5 in Game Changers, it still wasn't a memorable edit for her. I think she comes in a great spot. She's a mother now. I'm really looking forward to seeing this version of Aubrey play the game. May, what are your thoughts?
I really liked Aubrey. She's somebody that I personally connected with watching Survivor. So I've always been rooting for her. She's one of the people that is very smart, very strategic, and I'm excited to see where she goes this season.
All right, Lauren.
Aubrey's there because of how strategic she is. Now, what type of gameplay are we going to see? Are we getting, the edge gameplay because that didn't work out for a target, but that was because she was playing with predominantly newer players. Since the whole cast is on an equal foothold here, I think she will be in a better position because the other 2 times she did very, very well. And so since everyone has played and they're here, I think she will be able to strategically insert herself and make a good run.
All right, Manfred, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wanted Aubrey, damn it. But I'm really excited to see her play again. And I do think she will be underestimated since she did not perform so well on Edge of Extinction. I love her so much. She's a strategic queen. She clearly has what it takes to be able to win a game. And I hope she can make it to the end because I think she has a good chance of winning if she can make it to the end.
All right, Lyrsa, last thoughts on Aubrey before your 3rd pick.
Oh my God. She was also going to be one of my picks. I think she's awesome. I feel like she was robbed on her first season, especially after seeing Michelle. Love Michelle, but she plays such a messy game on the challenge every single time. So I don't know how I can't remember how she won Survivor. Anyway, so excited to see Aubrey. I can't believe I'm older than her. She has great glasses and eyebrows, and I'm so looking forward to see her on my screen. Love her.
All right, Lyrsa, who's your pick going to be for pick number 3 or 2 in the 3rd round?
Oh my God. So let me see who I need now.
Everyone's
I need
available but Aubrey.
I know. So sad. I'm going to pick somebody that I feel will... Well, I don't like his musical choices because they're too like white bland chicken for me. He is one of my fellow Massachusetts people, even though I'm not one from Massachusetts because I'm from Puerto Rico, more like downtown. But I love him. He was also robbed. So I'm going to pick Charlie. I think Charlie is going to do so great because he can blend with older crew. Hopefully they don't backstab him this time. And he also have his young people. I think he will connect. I think that Charlie's gonna do so good this time. Hopefully we'll see him in the end. I have nothing bad to say about Charlie. I have met him in person and he is such a lovely person. Again, I disagree with his love for Taylor Swift, but that's a personal choice. I'm a Bad Bunny girl all the way down. So yeah, Charlie and Charlie. Yeah.
All right, so Charlie is off the board for Lyrsa. I mean, I love Charlie. Charlie, how can you not like him? Plays a great game. I do think I completely agree with you that he was robbed, but I do think that he kind of comes in here with a little bit of a lower threat, even though he should have a massive target. Will that play out? Does he have any connections? You know, how is it going to be being on this season with Tiffany and Q from his, former game on the season with him? Where does he fall in that target territory? Very interested to see. May, let's start with you. What's your opinions on Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, Taylor Swift got a ring. Now it's time for Charlie to get that win. No. I love exactly what you said, that he has these younger people here that he can connect with, and he can also bridge that gap to the older crowd that is playing this game. So hopefully he realizes that and uses that to his advantage. Don't think he's going to be one of the people that we're going to see right out of the back getting like this huge edit, because there's other personalities and other people that are just a little bit stronger than him when it comes to like an episode edit. But I do think man, I say this about everyone, but he definitely can make it far in this game.
All right, Lauren, what are your thoughts?
Charlie benefits from a huge ride or die. So I think that's the first thing that Charlie needs to do, is figure out who is my person going to be in this game, because Charlie needs to bounce off ideas with somebody else. I think that was a huge benefit in Charlie's first game. Obviously, I have to root for Charlie from Massachusetts because I'm right here in the Boston area too. And I think it's really just going to depend on where Charlie falls and who Charlie ends up working with. But I do see upside for sure.
All right, Manfred, thoughts?
I feel like they need to get Charlie out early, but I don't think it's going to happen because he's going to have a really good social game, and he's like a strategic mastermind. So they should be taking him out early, but I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, and Phillip, to end on Charlie, what are your thoughts?
I always have to look at a player as like, how do we define their game, their personality, their story? And I'm always scared when it's defined by other people. If anyone says Charlie's on the cast and everyone goes, who? And they go, Maria, screwed him over, say, oh, that guy. Or they go, oh, the Taylor Swift guy. Like, it's nothing that ever actually has to do with his accomplishments and achievements. I'm not saying he didn't have any. He had a lot of them. But what I'm saying is the perception of the game is almost as important as what you actually do in the game.
All right. So that ends our thoughts on Charlie. It's now my pick, and I was really hoping you guys would take one of these two off the board because they are by far the messiest players in the entire cast. I'm going to go with, I have to pick her because she's so messy, but she's a queen from Lyrsa's season. Give me Angelina. I love Angelina. I actually talked to Angelina.
Thank you for taking her.
Of course. Yeah, I talked to her before she went on 50, knowing she was going to go on 50. I gave her my 2 cents, even though what's that going to do for her? I've never played the game, but I gave her my 2 cents on how to play. I'm so excited to see her play again. She is an amazing person, so nice, so sweet, so generous with her time every time she's come on the podcast. I really think that yes, she has this stigma of being messy, being, wanting a jacket from Natalie. Like all the things that she brings to the table are what makes her her. I just hope she doesn't deviate from that, because that's the kind of, messy queen we love. I want to see her 2.0, but I don't want it to take away from what we thought of her from her first time playing. I don't know if she wins, but man, am I here for the ride. I'm so stoked to have her here. Manfred, what are your thoughts?
I wanted her. I wanted to be a little messy and take Angelina. Obviously, she's so iconic for for the Natalie, can I have your
And you guys, that lasted such a long time, by the way.
Oh, I love her so much. I really wanted her. I'm so excited to see her on my screen again. She's so much fun to watch. I think she's gonna do very well too. I think like her threat level may be lower than other people's, despite having made it to the end, because I think people would just think her social game isn't good enough to get her the win anyways. So I'm rooting for Angelina. I can't wait to see her.
All right, Lyrsa, she was on your season. What are your thoughts on the pick of Angelina?
Well, hopefully she brings a better jacket this season and not the weird stuff that she had that never dried while we were there. I think that she has matured. Obviously, she has 2 kids now. There is more like in the room for her, like to be like how she's gonna be portrayed, because now she has 2 little girls back at home that she needs to set like maybe an example for, and wants to look like, a little bit better, in my opinion. I think she's messy and chaotic at some point. I don't think that she's gonna win. I think she might get to the merge, but I don't see her winning because of her social skills weren't that great back in 37. But good luck, girl. Let's see how you do. Hopefully you are not going to be caught this season.
All right, Phillip, what are your thoughts?
Listen, I know that now she's a mother, but to those of us that know, she has always been a mother. Let's be honest. Always a star. She can have as many kids as she wants. Always a mother. The thing is, I think that people are, again, going to underestimate how good of a player she is because her social game was like kind of not great. But the thing is, I love players like Angelina and like Abby Marie and stuff like that. Like, I love it as a viewer. I just don't know how people are going to treat her as like a player. I've never played a game with these people, but as far as just like actually watching it at home, they make things happen. They are a producer in the game. And that's for me. I'm like, well, I'm entertained. Okay, sweet. And especially after some of 49 and a lot of 48, I just want to be entertained.
All right. And then Manfred, did I go to you already? I did, right? No, I did. Okay. Lauren, you're up next. What were your thoughts on her?
You have to have there for entertainment value alone. Whether she does well or if she is super successful, it doesn't matter to me. She will give you the sound bites. She will give you the clips. That's all you're looking for. She's going to climb the ladder. She's going to hopefully steal people's jackets when they're not looking. This is all you want. You only need a couple episodes from her. That's what you need from specific people. I don't see the winner upside. I don't see it happening. But if some way she does sneak her way into the final 3, or maybe they switch it up and do a final 2 for 50, we don't know. I still don't see her pulling a jury to get the votes.
Lauren, real quick, tell me your 3 picks again. I'm updating the board.
I've only picked twice.
Oh, sorry, your 2 picks.
Yeah, so I have Genevieve and Colby.
Okay, thank you. Okay, May, what are your thoughts on Angelina?
One thing that I don't think anyone else has touched on is I really think that Angelina is somebody that has gone back and really realizes how she was perceived when she's played the game and is ready to like play upon that perceived persona that she had. Like all of her promo stuff has been like, hey, I'm this person and this time I brought my own jacket. So it's like she's playing on that. She knows like that's what she's known for. And some of these people are going in here with just like straight ego. Like they're not realizing how they come off to other people. And I hope that she uses that to her advantage because that's something not a lot of other people had in their interviews.
All right. And lastly, May, did you have Chrissy or Jenna?
Me, I have Chrissy.
Okay. I got it all updated. I'm going to update it here in a second. But as I do that, Manfred, you're up next. What's your pick going to be for the 3rd round?
Okay, so I'm going to pick Tiffany because even though there are 3 people from Survivor 46, I feel like she's the one coming into this game, not just from that cast, but within this entire cast with one of the lowest threat levels and one of the worst placements. Sorry. Even though she did pretty well. A lot of people here have made it close to the end or the end. And I just think she has a very low threat level and that a lot of people want to work with her. And if she has to throw people under the bus from her season, Q and Charlie are way easier for people to want to target than herself.
Oh, 100%. I think she has the lowest target out of anyone on this cast. I think that for me, I think Tiffany's in a great spot. And we say this every season where we're like, whenever there's a returnee season or what have you, we're like, oh, why did that person get picked? That was an interesting pick, right? And then we see someone like Kelly Wentworth on, Second Chances come out of the woodwork and show us why they were picked to be there and become a legend. So I think that I'm here for it. I want to see Tiffany 2.0. I think her target level is perfect for her going into this game. I don't think anyone's coming after her, and I think she can go far. Let's start with Lyrsa. Lyrsa, what are your thoughts on Tiffany?
Yeah, I think pretty much the same. I think that she is a great addition. Lower threat levels here. I want to see more of her. So yeah, we'll see how it goes for Tiffany.
All right, so I updated the board so it has our names next to it now. It gave me a little time to get through that. And I think I did it correctly. If I did anything wrong, let me know, guys. All right, so Phillip, what are your thoughts on Tiffany?
It's hard for me because now I'm friends with her in real life. But what did Issa Rae say? I'm rooting for everybody black. I don't know. I just think that I'm like, I think that once you've done one season, you see yourself very differently. And just in getting to talk to her, she has evolved a lot and learned a lot and grown a lot. So I'm kind of excited to see how she comes back after she's done the work and been like, I was always happy with who I was, but now I know how I'm being perceived by other people.
All right, May, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's interesting to get that like personal insight. And that's exactly what I was saying about Angelina. It's like knowing how you're perceived by other people and being able to play upon that is a great strength. And her coming in with less of kind of a radar on other people's radar is something that can really like push her forward into this game, getting her where she needs to be in different alliances. So I'm interested to see how it goes.
All right, and Lauren, to round us out, then you can just go into your next pick. What are your thoughts on Tiffany?
Tiffany's 100% a sleeper pick, and I love that the selection was made when it was. Manfred, awesome pick. And I will say, too, Tiffany has to be hungry. Tiffany needs to go out and make some moves. Not initially off the bat. You can kind of float around, as we've said before, get your numbers, get your people. But as we saw before in All-Stars, everyone said, Amber, why is Amber coming back? This might be the story Tiffany writes here and comes out with the big 50 win.
All right, and go ahead and let us know your pick for the next pick.
I'm debating between two people, so I'm hoping I get them both because May has two picks after me, so I'm obviously not going to say who I'm missing. So you can't take the notes down. I'm fairly confident if I go this route, the other one should circle back around to me. So I'm going to take Camilla off the board.
You slut.
I was correct. It was not going to come back around. The big thing for Camilla here and why I'm so frustrated is, why did Kyle have to be on the cast? Let Camilla do her work by herself. I want to see her play alone where we don't have Kyle there. Not to say Kyle isn't amazing. I think he is. He was a fantastic winner. But let the girl cook, because I think she will. And I think the hope that she needs, Kyle needs to go early from this game so then Camilla is on an island by herself and can only worry about her. And I'm just hoping that's the direction that it goes because she has a lot of gameplay to play, and I think she will do quite well. Just Kyle needs to be away.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I think that Camilla, I would love to see her on like a new era all-star type of season. I think 50 playing with two people from her season is very tough, especially Kyle, who she basically played the whole game with. People know that she's loyal, but she's also a huge gamer and she knows how to play this game. She's coming off the heels of literally the last season these people saw. So I really think her threat level couldn't be higher. I think she's the exact opposite of Tiffany, where she's coming in with a huge target and doesn't have those people on their tribe where they're immediately going to be like, well, we got to get rid of someone from 48. Camilla's here. Let's get rid of her. So I think it puts her in a very bad spot. May, what are your thoughts?
Next time we do a draft, Laura needs to be after me. But She was going to be my next pick. I do think it's bad for her to be seen as a duo with Kyle, especially with Kyle coming away with the win instead of her. I want this for her. Like, I want her to have this opportunity to like play solo. So I'm hoping she gets it, and that was the vibes that I was going off of.
All right, and Manfred, your thoughts on the pick?
Yeah, I think it's so interesting that Lauren picked both Genevieve and Camilla because I think their perceptions are very similar. Just the whole strategic masterminds, and doesn't help that those two just had their seasons aired, and it's fresh in everyone's minds. So I think Camilla may struggle. Obviously, with the relationship with Kyle, they're gonna cut Kyle, and then I feel like Camilla might struggle to find her way into some alliances where maybe she's a number, but she's at the bottom of an alliance. So I think she may struggle. I don't want her to. I love Camilla. I hope she does well, but I'm scared for her.
All right, and Lyrsa, your thoughts on Camilla?
I love Camilla. She is such a funny tiny nugget. I met her in person and we had a blast. Same with Kyle, but I think that they shouldn't have brought Kyle back because, I mean, he's a recent winner. Love him, but you won like the other day. And I want to see Camilla shine by herself. Like, she was like in a way like shadowed by Kyle, even though she was doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. So love you, Kyle, but I want Kyle to go early so we can see Camilla shine and maybe take that win home.
All right, and Phillip, let's hear it. What are your thoughts on Camilla?
I love her. I've gotten to hang out with her more than once, but I just think that I'm interested to see how she plays. And I know that the philosophy is let her cook without Kyle. But my question is, can she cook without the right ingredients? Is she just going to be able to pull it out on her own? And I'm not saying she can or she can't. It's very much like Joe or anyone else where we're like, but like, what are they going to do if they don't have that there? So I'm very interested to see what's going to actually happen with her.
All right. So May, you've got you got your first pick of the third round. And right after that, you'll have the last pick of the fourth round for yourself. What's your thoughts on your first pick of the two?
This person could be seen as a huge target. So this is it could go either way, 50-50. Get it at 50. But I'm going to go with Jonathan. He is obviously a huge physical threat, but from his first season, he knows he's a physical threat. So he's even talked about dialing down the personality that way. So he's very aware of, again, how he's perceived. Early on in this game, it's going to be about winning challenges and not going to tribal council. The tribe that he is on is going to be idiotic if they get rid of him very early on, just because he is such a help to those tribal challenge wins. So I see him making it pretty through at least the first couple episodes. So I'm going with Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan would have been my pick there's someone that needs to be taken if I'm going to go completely messy. But I also love Jonathan. I know it's weird. He didn't play a great game, but man, is he not the biggest human specimen we've ever seen play Survivor? Like, this guy is just huge. He's always going to be a threat. No one's going to get rid of him early, especially on their tribe, because they're probably going to be winning if he's on your tribe. The question is, can he down the stretch, when it's individual immunity, can he win out? Because he's going to kind of have to need to if he's going to be able to stay in this game, because he's just going to be too much of a physical threat to keep in the game. I still think Jonathan can do well. And I know Johnny talked to Jonathan before we went out, and he said, I didn't like the way I looked in my first season. He didn't like the way he was portrayed. He's coming in there trying to be a more likable person, relatable person. How does that work with this big, huge physical specimen playing this game? I'm excited to see it. I think he could do well. Lauren, what are your thoughts?
May, you'll be happy about this. This was my other pick in Jonathan. So you at least stole something from me to make your day there.
Perfect.
Now, the Jonathan of it all. I think that Jonathan's tribe will be in a good spot. They'll be able to get through what's going to happen if they have the little switcheroos, the swapperoos, all this going down, the merge scenario of it all. Do we get rid of him now because we utilized him to get ourselves to the merge? Let's just clip him while we can if he doesn't win a challenge. Or are we just going to let him coast because maybe we can out-talk him at the end of the game? I see Jonathan fitting in so many different puzzle pieces. It's just what piece fits for the other players.
All right. Manfred, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I hope Jonathan stays for a while just for the eye candy factor. But I really hope like Jonathan can step it up strategically, because otherwise he's just boring. So I understand why he's on 50, but he needs to step it up strategically. I need to see him do something other than, have a nice body on the island.
All right, Lyrsa, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Manfred. He was boring, beautiful, boring man. Huge arms. I remember I was very obsessed with his arms and shoulders on his season, and I tweeted about it every time I could, I think. But in general, he was boring. So hopefully he's going to be a lot more fun this season. I am concerned regarding Jonathan on the tribe that he is, because we have a lot of like weaker players, but we have fun players at the same time on his tribe. So I hope that they don't prefer to like keep him because he's strong and he's gonna help them win some challenges, and instead like pull somebody like Mike, who gave us great content, right? So I don't know. Bring it, Jonathan. If you're gonna stay, be more fun.
All right. And Phillip, someone else who has amazing arms. What is your thoughts on Jonathan?
You know that visual of the theory of evolution? It looks like he made it like halfway up and was like, I'm good. And he just stopped. But at the same time, I think that it's hard. I foresee his ego getting the best of him if it's anything like his last game. It's giving what we thought Golden God was going to be in Australia versus the world, and then he was one of the first ones out, and I was like, well, I think again, to be of that kind of physical stature, you have to be a teddy bear and likable in order to even it out. But for you to walk in with an ego and look like that to me is a red flag, because there's no real way in. You're not an approachable person that says, hey, I want to be like him. I'm going to be in with him.
Every time I look at Jonathan, I just think goals. Like, that's one day, maybe. No, it's never happening. All right. So
wait, did you say goals or
goals? Like goals.
I think like goals, like the gym.
Okay, so yeah, okay, that's goal number one. I'm basically the same height as Jonathan, but not nearly the same stature. All right, so Lauren, you're up next. What's your pick for the last round?
Ma'am, it is me again. Thank you.
Hey, sorry. I forgot that you had a second pick. Let's go ahead.
This is my last one. This is my last one.
I know that. That's how snaking works. I don't know if you know.
Yes, I've done many fantasy drafts. I am an idiot. I apologize. May go right ahead.
No, and this is my last pick. I only get 4 since I'm at the bottom. But for this one, I'm gonna completely do a random pick that is just basically off of vibes and edit and fun and messiness and chaoticness. And with that, I'm gonna go with Q. I love a man with fashion sense. Sorry to steal him from Team Messy, but I'm really interested to see how he plays, because I half remember from his first season, like halfway through the tribe phase, he was like, "Yeah, I'm out. Like, I don't want to be here anymore," and then totally like just kept going out of spite, and I'm obsessed with that. So I'm excited to see where Q fits in this season.
This is payback for totally me missing your pick, so I get it. Maybe I should have missed your pick on purpose. That was the messiest person I could have picked. Damn it. But there's another mess out there, so I still have options. But Q is in trouble. Like, Q is just never going to win Survivor. Let's be real. He's there for entertainment and selling Q skirts, all right? So I don't think Q has a chance in this game, but my God, am I here for all the confessionals? Lauren, what are your thoughts?
Bobby, I wouldn't say that just yet, that Q can't win it, because Do you remember you and I covered a Traders game that had all the Survivor players in it? Q stepped up. No one thought Q was going to win and then pulls it out of the bag. One of the best Traders games I've personally seen. So
It's true.
I don't think it's a horrible pick. You never know what could happen.
It's very, very true.
Well,
We saw
maybe
when there's
Traders
no
should
money on the line, we saw what Q can do. So, Manfred, you're going to give us your opinion on Q.
If I ever play Survivor one day, I would hope that there's no one like Q on the island because I cannot play with someone as chaotic as Q. Talk about first boot potential. I mean, I respect the mess, but yeah, I think he's a very polarizing character, but he's so much fun to watch. Absolutely understand why he's on a season, but yeah, I could never pick Q.
All right. Lyrsa, your thoughts on Q?
Same. I won't like, oh my God, he was so messy. Like he is terrible. I don't think he knows how to play this game. Maybe he was great on that Traders game and that's his game, but Survivor wasn't. And every week that he stayed there, it aggravated me because you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. You're being a dick. Like, why you want to be here? And yeah, it was very frustrating for me as a viewer. I understand that he will bring a lot of chaos if he stays, but yeah, he's not going to win ever.
All right, Phillip, what are your thoughts on Q to round us out?
I love Q, but only for the reason of every Black extended family has a messy uncle that comes to Thanksgiving and just starts spouting off the most absurd, offensive shit you've ever heard and does not want to be there, eats dinner, eats dessert in the kitchen alone after he's offended everybody. And you're like, this man is the worst. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna see you in a few weeks. Happy holidays. And leaves. And you're like, what? Why is he coming back for Christmas? It's like, but that's him. You're like, I don't think he applied to be on this show, but like somehow he ended up here. And like that to me is such an energy. It's not my energy, but like I appreciate it as a viewer. That I'm like, what if we just had one guy that just didn't want to be there or like talk to anybody? Like that's great to me.
All right. So now, Lauren, now it is your pick. Who are you picking with your last pick in the 4th round?
All right, let's go. I'm keeping on my 50-50 trend, so I have 50% covered of the new era. And so now I'm making sure I get my back half end of the old schoolers. And I have 3 lovely options, let me tell you. So I am not personally the largest gung-ho person regarding Devons, but I'm going to take Devons off the board because of who is left on the board thinking winner upside in comparison to what we have left here. And I will say Devons has learned from mistakes of being voted out early and coming back into a game and fixing the problems. So I think that's a huge benefit going into a season 50. And Devons is going to be entertaining. We've already seen the whole Billie Eilish boomerang idol. And so you know how Devons is with those idols. So of course he has to have that little tidbit in there. Sometimes with the confessionals and the rah-rah at Tribal was a little turnoff for me, but let's just see how he plays this time. I am curious to see how it goes down. I'm sticking with the pick. I'm happy with the pick, but overall, I didn't have much to choose from.
I was definitely a Devons guy on his season. I loved the story arc of it all coming back, from Edge of Extinction. But I do know that there are some people on the cast that are not very fond of Devons. So I think that he does come in with a bigger target than maybe he thinks he does going into the game. I do worry about him. I'm curious about the boomerang idol. That's something we do know at least he knows where it's at. We don't know if he has it. Someone in his lines has it. Someone against him has it. We don't know. But I'm very interested to see Rick 2.0. It's kind of crazy to me that he was an alternate given his story arc on his first season. He did end up making the cast here. But I'm interested to see. I don't know if I see winner potential, but I'm here for it. Lyrsa, what are your thoughts?
He was my alternate. No, I think that Devin is very funny, but have you met his wife? I think she should have been on the show. No, I think that Devin might have a target on his back, but I think he'll do well. I don't know. Look at that smile and that beer. No, I'm joking. Like, not attracted to that. But I think he will be fun and learning, like applying those skills of like being voted out and coming back. I can see him in the merge.
All right, Phillip, thoughts?
I actually did not watch Rick Devin's season, but I did watch. You know how they're playing all those like epic episodes of everyone that's on the show. I did watch his episode of that a couple nights ago. Turned me into a fan. I love a show. I am a musical theater guy, and he turns tribal into a circus, and I don't hate that.
All right, Manfred, your thoughts?
Yeah, Rick is definitely a performer. He's so entertaining and so much fun to watch. I don't see him making it far personally, but I'm excited to see him on the screen again. I think he's a lot of fun to watch.
All right, May, let's hear it. What are your thoughts on Devins?
Yeah, no, I mean, just like Manfred said, he's a performer. He's somebody who's going to give the viewers what they want. And with all of these players that we've picked early, we've said, oh, they're a strategic mastermind. They're so smart. They know how to work the crowd. If we had all strategic masterminds in this cast, it would be a horribly boring season. So it's people like Rick Devins that is going to make this season pop. And I'm excited to see what we get from him.
And, you know, this wasn't shown in the edit, I believe, but on the very first, when they go onto the beach on his first season and they're meeting Jeff, and War God says that he wants to be called the War God, and Devins rose his hand. He's like, actually, this is kind of awkward. I also go by War Dog. So I thought that was hilarious. He just brings the entertainment, so I am here for that. At least we get that with Devins. All right, Manfred, your last pick. What's going on? Who are you going to take?
Thank goodness he wasn't picked. But if he was, then I would have been sad. But I have to go with Mike White. And it's the White Lotus of it all.
You're just trying to get on next season of White Lotus. Like, I don't want it.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was playing with him, you can go to the end. So I hope, low-key hope, that he doesn't do anything this entire season and he just makes it to the ends because everyone wants to get on White Lotus. I think that'd be honestly iconic. But yeah, I think he would do well just because people don't want to piss him off and they want to get that cameo.
Yeah, I think it could go one of two ways, right? I agree with you. I think it could be people are playing it up to get the White Lotus of it all, be on TV. I mean, it might be the greatest pre-gaming we've ever seen from a cast member in the fact that you bring people from your season to be on this hit TV show. Like, how could you pre-game any better than that for any season you're ever on? Having said that, it could go the opposite way. People could be like, hey, no one's going to want to get rid of him because they want to get on the White Lotus. Let's get rid of him early so that we can at least knock out a potential threat and someone that's probably going to get dragged to the end because this guy doesn't need the money. Like, are we really going to let him get far? So I think it could go one of two ways, but I am happy to see Mike back. I question the pick for 50, but I'm not against it either. Lyrsa, you played with Mike. What are your thoughts on Mike White?
I really like Mike. We had the Rainbow Coalition and he betrayed me and then picked Angelina. Yes. But it's okay. I'm still waiting for my cameo on White Lotus. So if all of these 17 people think they're going to make it there, get in line. I was first. I think Mike is funny. And honestly, if I was going to make it to the merge, and those were the options at the end, I would have voted for Mike. He blossomed on our season from being, first of all, the oldest person. He's also the oldest person here. And he plays such a messy game in the beginning, like disappearing, trying to find an idol. He didn't have numbers, and then he blossomed and he made it to the end, like from Amazing Race and not the other benchers. So I think that maybe this White Lotus thing might play on his favor, like it did on our season. A lot of people decided to keep him. Nick was one because he was obsessed with School of Rock, and I think Mike will be at least making it to the merge. I have high hopes. Again, I changed my hair for you, Mike, and I haven't received my White Lotus call. So, just saying.
May, what's your thoughts on Mike?
Yeah, he's definitely someone who's going to give us like fun confessionals. He's going to be someone that we enjoy watching. But as far as like from a game perspective, what is he to people other than that potential maybe call to be on White Lotus? If you're not going to ally with me in this game, why am I keeping you? So I could see him being somebody that is just cut early on because they don't make strong connections.
Phillip, your thoughts?
I like him. I don't know. He just looks like a nice man. I would keep him around, but again, in knowing most of the physical challenges in the new era, that's what I get scared for. Where at least I feel like it was a little bit more on equal footing a few years ago when he played, and now it's just straight up like obstacle course, puzzle, you go home, right? Like so, like I don't know if he's going to be able to thrive in any of those.
And last but not least, Lauren, what are your thoughts on Mike?
Just bring the man a glass of wine ASAP. That's all I need in my life. Right when they enter into the game, stepping onto the beach, hand the wine over, and we're done. I need the clip, and I'm good to go.
All right, so it is now my pick. Thank God you guys left me at least one person for Team Messi that is definitely a Messi player. Not my favorite player, but I have to take her because this is Team Messi.
No!
Give me Emily. How did you not see that coming, Lyrsa?
No!
You had to have seen that coming. Once Q was gone, I had two options. It was Q or Emily, and Q went, so I had to take her.
Pick Ozzy. Ozzy's messy.
Ozzy is messy, but is anyone messier than Emily or Q? I don't know. Emily, I will say this. Emily 2.0, second half of the game, played much better. Emily 1.0 is what I want to see on my television screen, and I hope it continues going into this season. I don't care about Emily 2.0. Emily 2.0 has potential to win. Emily 1.0 is a legend of the game because Emily 1.0 is just mess. She's drama. She brings entertainment. Give me that all day. Lyrsa, why were you so upset? Why did you want Emily?
Emily on her season, that first episode, I think I even tweeted about it. I hated her so much on that first episode. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this girl doing here? They need to vote her out. She is impossible. I will have smacked her already. And then they had that conversation. And Emily came back in such a different way. And I'm like, oh my God, I kind of like her. And I started liking her more and more. I got so upset when she got voted out. It's like, it was such a different person. And she changed my perspective on her. You know, like, this is a game that first impressions matter, right? And my first impression with her was awful. And she found a way to, like, make it better. I met her at one event, and she is the sweetest person, too. So I wanted her on my team, also because she is a great negotiator, and she knows numbers, which I don't know shit about. So, yeah, I'm sad. But go Emily, rooting for you.
All right, Phillip, your thoughts?
I like Emily. I think that like some of my closest friends, I think we can all admit that some of our closest friends are the people we hated initially, that you were like, who is this person? And now you're like, I can't live without them. So like for me, I love Emily. I just think that she had a rough landing, but I bet we all, okay, cool, great.
All right, May, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat where I absolutely hated her with a passion. And then she's one of the players that have had that full circle moment where she really grew, not only in the game of Survivor, but in life. She figured things out about herself. And you can see other players are just the same person the whole way through. And for her to have that huge storyline, I'm excited to see her come back, knowing that about herself and having this time to kind of sit in that.
Lauren, what are your thoughts?
Emily's the definition of real. Let's be clear here. You know she's going to say exactly what is on her mind, not only to your face more than likely, but also in that confessional. And so we are going to see the full inside of the thought process of Emily, no matter how far she goes in this season. I'm happy she's on the cast. She earned her spot to be on this cast. And I really am so excited to see the dynamic unfold with who she chooses to work with and who she chooses to say, you know what, I'm all set on you.
All right. And Manfred, final thoughts on Emily.
I love Emily. She's an icon. She's a messy queen, and she's a financial analyst. She's a meme. I mean, like everyone has said already, obviously first impression was I hated her, but she has grown into such a lovable character. And by the time she got voted out, she was the one I wanted to win. And that was such a great evolution of her game within one season. So I'm curious to see how she will play in 50. And I do think she comes in with a pretty low threat level as well. So I do think she has a potential to make it really far in the game.
All right. So with that being said, Lyrsa, there's 2 picks left. We got Kyle or Ozzy. Who you taking?
Okay. I have 2 choices. The guy that has played several times and never wins because he's such a great athlete, but so bad at social connections with people. I'm sorry. I think that has ruined Ozzy's game. Like, he has no social awareness in a way. Like, he doesn't know how to connect with people. He think that, at least when I saw him playing, like, just because you can climb a coconut tree, I should be the winner, in my opinion. As a human, love him, but as a player, I think you kind of suck. And then I have Kyle, which love him. Also, I mean, he's a great person, but you also just won, bro. Like, you won the other day, and oh my god, I'm so tired. I feel like The Bachelor. But I'm gonna give this rose. I know it's hard, girl. Don't bark. Shit. I don't want to be dramatic, and I am. I'm gonna pick Kyle. Because I know that even though Ozzy might go far, I don't think he's gonna win. And I think that even though I don't think Kyle is gonna win either, I think he's gonna be more charming and more socially, with other people. And less braggy. So yeah, I'll go with Kyle.
All right. As far as Kyle's game, who is coming in with a bigger threat level? Like, you just played a great game. You just won. People just saw you win this game. They're going to be pissed that you're there because you just won $1 million. You don't need the money, bro. Like, let one of us have the money. I think Kyle has a huge target. I think that he's in trouble. Having said that, can he just immediately go after one of the new people from 49? I believe he's on the same tribe as Rizzo. If I were him, I'd immediately be like, yeah, I'm the winner of 48. You guys know this. There's 3 winners here, we think. Rizzo, we have no idea what he is. Like, he could be one of the greatest players. He could be the winner from the season. They're not telling us. Let's go after him. That's who I would immediately target if I were him, to get the heat off of you. Otherwise, I think he's pretty much doomed from the beginning. May, what are your thoughts?
What you said, he has this huge target coming in. Everyone just saw him win. Even his biggest ally in Camilla doesn't want him there because it's a hindrance to her game. So I don't see it going well for him.
All right, Lauren, go ahead and give us your opinion on Kyle.
Kyle has a tough road ahead. It's going to be very, very difficult. I don't think they're going to even let him sniff the merge whatsoever. And if they do, that's a terrible call, because once Kyle gets footing in the game, it's tough to take him out from there because of how likable of a person Kyle is. I just think this cast as a whole is just not going to let that happen.
Manfred, thoughts on Kyle?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Kyle has very much longevity in the game. Sure, you can push maybe the 49ers in front of you, but it's you're going to be the next eventually and pre-merge too. Unfortunately, because I do like the guy. I think he played a great game, but his threat level is just so big, and you just have to take him out early because you don't want to let him get too far in a game where he does become an asset to someone's game and someone does find value in keeping him around.
All right, Phillip, what are your thoughts on Kyle and your last pick in Aussie? Even though it wasn't really your pick, it was who you got gifted. But what are your thoughts on the two players? Let's start with Kyle first.
I love Kyle. Super nice guy, super great guy. But at the same time, in looking at him as in a gameplay perspective, he's not a smart investment as far as just knowing what the other players know of him and his season being the last one that they saw before the island. So like, it's hard. It's definitely hard. It's an uphill battle, but as we know, all the things about Kyle's entire life and existence, it's always kind of been an uphill battle. So like, I think if there was someone that was psychologically and emotionally equipped to do it, it would be him. And Ozzy, I like Ozzy. I like him as an individual, but again, I think his social relationship reading is weird. I think he's a great guy, but that haircut gives, I only have visitation rights once a month. So like, I don't know, but like either way, this was not a glow up for him, but that's me.
All right. And Lyrsa, what are your thoughts on Ozzy?
I think I said it all on my pick with Kyle. I don't doubt that he is a great person, right? But he's missing the social aspect of the game. And to me, as a player, honestly, I think it's a very important. Like, we have seen a lot of great people go to the end, but they don't win because they don't have that social aspect. They're assholes. Like, look at Russell. He can find all the idols he wants. I'm not going to give money to somebody people can't connect. And I think this is the problem with Aussie. People cannot connect with him on a personal level. And it's super important to connect with people, especially in such a controlled environment that you have the people that you have, right? So I think they will keep him for like all the muscle. Yeah, the haircut, I don't like, but you do you, baby.
All right, Manfred, your thoughts on Ozzy?
I like Ozzy. I met him once and he was really nice, but game-wise, he plays the same game every single time. He's already played like 4 times and he plays that same provider role every single time, the same challenge beast role. And so I do wonder if he is capable of playing a different game, if he has learned anything new. I think he's like one of the icons of Survivor, so I understand why he's on 50, but if he plays the exact same game, then I will be so disappointed.
All right, Lauren, your thoughts on Ozzy?
Manfred, you talk about the provider role, and so I'm interested to see what Ozzy does with a limited series in terms of a season length, because guess what? You might not have as much time to do the provider role. We've seen some of these people have not even been able to build a full shelter because how quickly the game is moving. So I'm interested to see if the fast-paced game actually could work in Ozzy's favor in comparison to the more slow burn game.
All right. And May, what are your thoughts on Ozzy?
Yeah, that is interesting, Lauren, because they also have less supplies than they've had in the past to start out. So he's going to have to pivot with that too. Ozzy's actually my first boot picks. Yeah. If I had to put money on who I think would be first boot, I think it's going to be Ozzy if his tribe goes to tribal council. I just think it's going to be people thinking that they're making a big move with a big old school player. And I don't think he has a social game to get himself out of it. So
I'm with you guys. Like, I just don't know what we're going to get of Ozzy. Like, what have we not seen before from Ozzy? And granted, he's had so many times he's come so close to winning, and he's still the same physical beast that we have seen in the past. But I just don't know. I don't see it with Ozzy. I don't think this is the cast for Ozzy. I think that this is probably Ozzy's last rodeo. Probably should be. But I would like to see him on a different show, maybe even the Traders, just see what kind of game he plays there, which would be a totally different aspect for him. All right, so with that being said, that ends the draft. I will go over everyone's teams real quick. For Team Phillip, we have Ozzy, Aubrey, Joe, and Savannah. For Team Lyrsa, we have Christian, Dee, Charlie, and Kyle. For Team Bobby, we have Coach, Angelina, Emily, and Rizzo. For Team Manfred, we have Jenna, Sari, Tiffany, Mike, and Lauren. We have Colby, Rick, Devins, Genevieve, Camilla, and last but not least, May, we have Stephanie, Chrissy, Q, and Jonathan. Who will come out on top for season 50? Anything else you guys want to plug while we're still here before we get out of here? No, Lauren, you have anything you want to plug for Beast Games?
Well, Manfred, do you want to plug the New York viewing party?
Yeah, I mean, Manfred and I are going to be at the New York viewing party, the Bryson Wen party. Super excited to go. Of course, Sandra, most notably known from her run on 99 to Beat, will be there as well. So yeah, come hang out with us.
All right.
Yeah, you said it all already.
There you go. And Lauren, anything for Beast Games you want to promote?
Yes, Beast Games content will continue, but we have to just wait a little bit. We're behind with the press, so you have to hold off for them sometimes. So we will make sure we get the content out when we are able to do so.
All right. And last but not least, guys, I want you guys to go check out our Survivor content. We're going to have a lot of great stuff here at Reality After Show. Myself, Jonny Fairplay, Matt Bischoff, Phillip Solomon, Lauren Pratt, Wayne Mimit. We're all going to be here. Gabe Ortiz. How can I forget Gabe Ortiz from Survivor 47? We're all going to be here talking all season about Survivor 47, and hopefully we'll have some great guests along the way. Also, if you guys can, check out our Traders content tonight, immediately after the East Coast airing of the Traders episode. Myself, Jonny Fairplay, and Ty from Destination X will be talking all things Traders in the penultimate episode leading into the finale. So with that being said, guys, we appreciate you. Check out our content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.